Hey, what's going on, guys? It is your good friend Matt. We are back again here today at the only place that we always can be. And as you already know, that is Matt's Wrestling Collectibles right here on YouTube. Today, here, guys, we are going to be doing our top 10 lists for 2026. And we're going to be starting off with our top 10 basic and main event series figures that we're looking to add to the collection in 2026. So, this is going to be one of many. We're going to do basics, main events. We're going to do elites, elite legends, ultimates, a bunch of them here. So, we're going to have one of these coming out hopefully every day or every other day for the next week or so or close to it. And like I said, we're starting off here today with the basic and main event series figures. First thing is first here, guys. If it is number 1 on the list, it does not mean it is the most desirable. Same thing with if it's number 10. It doesn't mean that it is the least desirable. These were just written in as they came to me, as I decided which ones were going to make the list in general. So, we're going to start off first thing first here. We're going to go right on to trusty old Google, and let's hop in here. And we're going to go right with the first one. This works out great. So, WWE Mattel Finley. So, let's see here, guys. Let's show you. So, this is the Elite Finley, and I just want to show this really quick. Because it is a great figure, and I really wish that we could add this to the collection. I don't know if we can zoom in a little bit more. No, I guess that'll be it. But so, this was one that I really did want to add to the collection, but it is just super expensive, debating on if I really need it. And here's the next problem. We already have the re-release Hornswoggle, the From the Vault Series 5 of the Series 7 Elite Hornswoggle DX. So we have DX Hornswoggle. So, with Finley, if you get the Finley Hornswoggle 2-pack, which we're going to show here in a second, that kind of adds another Hornswoggle to the collection, as well as we also want to get the Hornswoggle and El Torito 2-pack somewhere down the road. I didn't add that into this list, but just to, throw a reference out there. That is the way you can get 3 versions of Hornswoggle and be very much different. You have the DX one, you have the Leprechaun style of Finley, and their 2-pack, and then you also have him with the longer brown hair and more in the newer style attire that he was wearing for a little while there. And that's, kind of where I would say you complete your Hornswoggle collection by having all 3 of those. So, with this Finley here, like I said, we'll back out of this. We'll go back over into our wonderful Google search. And here is what we'd be looking for here, guys. So this is the 2-pack that I would be thinking about grabbing. And like I said, whether it's just Finley by himself, because he also does have a singles Mattel basic. And that was, I think, Series 4 or Series 3. It's actually kind of funny if he was in Series 4 to have a Series 4 basic as well as a Series 4 Elite. Very cool. I don't know if that's happened to a figure or a wrestler before. I'm sure if it has, it's probably one of the big names, either, Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, John Cena. The list could go on. Rey Mysterio probably even definitely one that would be in there as well. But when it comes down to it, I think this is the best version of Finley. I think it is the best version of Hornswoggle if you wanted to have them together. So I think this will be what we will go after, but it all depends. I mean, of course, if I wind up finding some great deal on a Finley that's, an Elite, I would love to take it. But here we also have this. We'll give you guys a look here, see if we can bring that a little bit bigger. Or I guess that's going to be it right there. But this is the Finley. It's actually Series 8 of the basic series. I thought it was Series 4. But Series 8 here. And again, one cool thing that you can say about Finley, he may have not gotten a lot of figures because I think he only received 3 or 4 from Mattel. But it is really cool to see that they gave him different attires on them all. The Series 4 Elite is very much different from that 2-pack with Hornswoggle as far as the color scheme, this color wave. Then you have this one here in a much darker, almost all black with a little bit of green accents. This is, again, very much different than the others, which is very nice. And that's one thing that's nice about Mattel, not seeing, 3 figures coming out and them all be very much the same. All right, so up next, we are going to put in, let's see, we'll just put in basic in there as well because we want to make sure that those are all coming up. And up next is going to be none other than Tommy Dreamer. And for some of you who may not even know, Tommy Dreamer did have one basic figure from Mattel, and this is it right here. Get this out of the way, and let's see here. Can we even bring this up even a little bit better? But so you guys can see here on the screen, we did get this Tommy Dreamer from Mattel. And this was the pack, obviously, with Christian. Very upsetting because I actually had this twice, And the first time I purchased it, it was new in box. Was, so excited to get it, especially Tommy Dreamer was one of my favorites as far as, when I was coming up on learning about ECW and really kind of going back into it down the road. I started to really love Tommy Dreamer, as well as, the Sandman and Sabu, and even learning more about Rob Van Dam with all the years that I'd already been watching him on WWE. But a great, figure here all the way around. And I love how Mattel was also very known for kind of keeping people's faces almost like blank with emotion sometimes. I feel like it makes the figures a little bit better. I mean, of course, they all have like an emotion to them, but it's just nice when they're not always screaming or yelling, and a lot of figures that we've received that way. Some work out great, others not so much. But this Tommy Dreamer, a great figure, and like I said, had it once, wound up selling it, wound up purchasing it back again, loose, only the Tommy Dreamer. But as you guys know, I love having a package with everything, so I really want to get this one again, and that one is going to be on the list for this year. Up next, coming in at number 3, let's see here, we've got Hunico, and now this one is going to be different from the one that I already have, because as we can see here, I can probably click on this one quick here and bring this up. This is the current Hunico that we have. This is the unmasked version of him. Then he also did kind of play like the bad version of Sin Cara almost, and that's what we have right here as we try to pull this one up and show you guys this one here. So this is the one that we are looking for, as I already have the unmasked version. So very much on the list of figures to get. And I think Sin Cara will also be on there as well, because, I mean, you can't have one without the other, right? So finally want to add him to the collection this year, and finally get that, put to rest, as well as I'd like to really catch up on a lot of the, not only the luchadors, but also the New Japan side of things as well. So hopefully we can find a lot of those this year, and, Hunico being one of them for sure. Up next, coming in at number 4, and again, like I said, this is just a list for me. It's not necessarily the list of what order I would want them to be in, but number 4 here is none other than Alex Riley, and as we take a look at good old A-Rod here, A-Rod, this is the singles pack version of him. I would really like to get this one. It kind of sucks because in a way, it's like a double-edged sword. With this one, I feel like you get a little bit more updated with the tights. I think you get a little bit more as far as like the graphics for him on his figure. I think this one is better in a lot of ways. But then we also come out of that and we come down to his 2-pack here. And this 2-pack is, again, another one where it's like, I kind of like this one more because it's the first time in the line, I believe, for Alex Riley. I'm kind of surprised they didn't have that on the package. Huh. That is weird. I'd have to double check on that other one. I didn't know if that, thought this was his first time in the line figure. I'm almost positive. But either way, whether I get this one with the Miz or if I get the other one as a singles figure, it doesn't really matter to me. But either way, one of these Alex Rileys will be making its way into the collection this year, as I've been really wanting to add him back, because even again, we go way back to when this all first came out. I had both of these figures, and as time went on, we just decided to get rid of a lot of stuff. So up next, we're coming in to number 5, and it is none other than The Miz and Maurice, but it's not just The Miz and Maurice. It is them as John Cena and Nikki Bella, a great, great feud going into what I believe was WrestleMania. This was just awesome when The Miz and Maurice dressed up as John Cena and Nikki Bella. I think it's a great 2-pack, and I would love to add this one to the collection. Unfortunately, as you can see there, out of stock. It is definitely not going to come to the collection for $20, but hey, hopefully we won't pay too much more than that. I'd like to hopefully get this into the collection for around $40 to $50 shipped at the most. But either way, a great 2-pack, very cool, and again, something different. And I love how odd it is and how great of a pack it is. So, up next, number 6 on the list, we have got none other than Zeb Coulter. And Zeb Coulter had 2 figures as well. A lot of people may not know, but this Zeb Coulter here is the one that I'd be looking to add to the collection right here. I think this would probably be the best of the 2. As much as I do like the color scheme of the other one better, I feel as though this is probably the better one anyway. I mean, it's a WrestleMania Heritage Series figure, which I think is awesome all the way around, because then you can add a little bit of extra to the figure, you know, with that little logo down there. It's always something nice to collect, you know, Royal Rumble Series, WrestleMania Series, whatever. So very cool. This is also his first time in the line figure. So again, nice to add those to the collection. I always love the first time in the line figures. I always think that they're just a little, you know, a little extra piece to add on to it as well, like I said. And then you get this one here, and like I already kind of just dabbled into this. The color scheme is much better. I enjoy this one better. I like the Docker pants. I like the attire up top here. And I'm actually going to have to take a really good look at these up close at some point. But depending on I would think the head scans would have to be the same. I can't see them doing a separate head scan for this other Zeb. So let's see. Maybe we can pull this one up and just get a better look. Yeah, I think it is basically the same with the beard. You know, I don't think there'd be really any reason to have to get the 2-pack, so I'd probably go with this one. But I do like this Zeb Coulter a lot, and like I said, the WrestleMania Heritage Series on top of it, you can't really beat it. It's just something a little extra to throw on there. But there it is, Zeb Coulter coming in at number 6. Coming in at number 7, we've got none other than Ricardo Rodriguez. And let's see here. Here we go. There he is, and this is the man that we need. I don't even want to bother to go after the Build-A-Figure. We'll go right after this all together and just get him in the box with his name, you know, plate on there and the picture and everything. I think it's a much better figure. I actually think this all the way around is a better figure than his Build-A-Figure. I do believe the Build-A-Figure had the all-black bow tie, so this little bit of extra, you know, again, just little bits and pieces that just make things that much cooler. And the fact that Ricardo Rodriguez got a Build-A-Figure and then got his own figure all in the same right. I mean, you know, awesome for him. And again, very excited to add this one to the collection. But now, with that, we're also going to have to really chase after a Del Rio this year. I don't know if we're going to get one. Maybe it will, you know, come to fruition. We'll have to really play it out and see how things go. There's people saying that he's coming back to WWE. There's people saying that it's never going to happen. I guess we will really know come the release time around WrestleMania of figures and talent and everything else under the sun. And then maybe from that point, the next, you know, half of the year, the second half of the year, we'll figure out if we need to get ourselves a Del Rio on our own, or if it's going to eventually just come back to us again. Maybe, you know, you never know. You can really never say never when it comes to WWE. There has been so many times that people have come back, and it's just been absolutely crazy and, you know, unthinkable. So here we go. Number 8. This one is definitely one that would rank towards the top for me. It is none other than Shane McMahon, and it is from WrestleMania 36 series. This is absolutely gotta be one of the best Shane McMahons that they have ever made from Mattel. This figure is incredible, and I love it because of what it is. WrestleMania 15. It's a great story piece, of course, with Shane McMahon going after X-Pac, going after, you know, D-Generation X. I mean, it was just there was just a lot going on. WrestleMania 15, what a great time to really see wrestling changing so drastically. I think WrestleMania 15 was really the launching point into the Attitude Era. By WrestleMania 16, WrestleMania 2000, it was just incredible. You know what I mean? Just incredible where we were at and what we were doing. And obviously there's no other way to say it as you move forward through WrestleMania's, you know, 17, probably all the way to 21, 22. What an incredible time. What a run for WrestleMania as a whole. But this Shane McMahon is fantastic. I really, really want to get this one in the collection, and this is going to be one of the more important ones on this list for 2026. Alrighty, let's see here. Let's back this up again. And now let's go to number 9, and that is going to be another 2-pack, and it is none other than Epico and Primo, or I like to say Primo and Epico because I think it rolls off the tongue a little bit better. Let's see here. Let's see. How does this one come up? Hey. Let's see. We got a better pick? There it is. Oh, there we go. So, as you guys can see here, I'll just scroll through it a little bit. But as you guys can see, Primo, Epico, with the tag titles. This is before they had the masks. This is before they did the Diego Fernando deal, which I believe was also them. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive it was. So very cool that we did get this here, though, as it is. Again, I like this a lot. I think this is a great pack. First time in the line for Epico. And like I said, again, what a great time to be collecting when these packages were this style. Oh my God, I just loved collecting at this time. It just brings me back, you know. And I mean, and I grew up really through the Jakks era. Like I've said many a times, I started collecting wrestling figures immediately when I was in kindergarten, so about 4 or 5 years old, 1999, 2000. So, you know, I grew up through a whole different time of these figures, but what a nice pack here. I really want to get this into the collection too. So we'll see how this year goes. But Primo Epico, definitely on the list. That is for sure. And like I said too, as I jump back, I ping pong back and forth here, guys. I mean, what a time to be a wrestling figure collector. I feel like Mattel's first 5 years, 2010 to 2015, it was just an amazing time to be a fan of wrestling and collecting. I think it just really revamped the collector market, and it was just fantastic. So, but that is number 9. Coming in at number 10, rounding off the list, it is none other than Chris Masters, the Masterpiece. And he has 2 separate figures here, so let's take a look at both of these. And here we have him right here. He's got his regular basic, and this is Series 8. Chris Masters, as you get a good look at him there. I mean, again, this is a nice one, a very good figure. Like the head sculpt a lot. I love the red attire. I always love red, can't beat it. And the other thing that's nice about this is his other figure is in blue. So if you wanted to have, you know, one of those wars of brands, you could get both Chris Masters and you could have them go back and forth between Raw or SmackDown, you know. So very cool there. But this Chris Masters, probably the one that I would lean towards if I couldn't find the other one. So this would be secondary. I would much rather get this one first. And let's see here if I get the right one up, because I want to make sure it is, I think this one, because it's like the Chase, but it's got the Survivor Series chair. I actually don't even need this version of him, but this is him with the Survivor Series 1 of 1,000 chair. As you can see there, it says right here on the on this like sticker, and the Survivor Series down on the bottom. Heritage Series, of course. But I actually already have the chair, and I wasn't even thinking about that. I already have that chair as an accessory. So if I did find this as the regular version, as it did show that back on the other screen there, we can pop that back up. So if we found just this regular version, I'd probably be just as happy, even if it didn't have the chair. Doesn't really matter to me at that point. But I do prefer this Chris Masters over the other, simply because of the Survivor Series Heritage, you know, logo on there. I think that's awesome, and I always love, like I said, collecting those sub-series of a series or those pay-per-view series figures. And this Chris Masters, definitely, you know, no slouch to that, but a great figure all the way around. Also, too, here at the bottom, I'm not even going to look them up. I'll just throw it out there really quick. So I did list off 3 more that I wouldn't mind trying to get my hands on. Number 1, Yoshitatsu. He had a regular basic. He also had a kind of like similar to the Heritage Series. He had one of those World figures, World Series, where they did like Yoshitatsu, Japan, John Cena, America, Rey Mysterio, Mexico, Natalia, Canada. So if you guys remember that series. But they did have that Yoshitatsu with him in that, with the face painted. I'd like to get that, but I would also like the other one as well, so I don't know, whatever way that would fall. We also have Mike Knox on here. That's a name that's really going way back. That was in like the first couple of series of the basics. I don't know if that was like series 3, 4, 5. It was definitely in one of those first series. And Mike Knox would be one that I'd like to see as well. And last but not least, I would also like to get myself a Brodus Clay, also known as Tyrus. He was doing really well in the NWA, what was that there? NWA Power that they had on there, and I'm just trying to remember all this stuff, guys. So sometimes it's you know, it takes me a quick second, but instead of doing 100 edits like some of these people do, and no disrespect to them, yeah, if you got the time to do it, that's great. You guys already know I always like to do a one and done on these takes. So if it takes me an extra second, I'd rather do that than spend some time editing. But Anyway, Brodus Clay, like I said, also known as Tyrus on the NWA Power there, and he was their champion. He did, a lot of cool things in WWE, had a lot of good moments as far as just being a crowd pleaser, as well as a really good heel when he first started off. I really think they should have, stuck with that, and that monster heel would have been a better look for him, but either way, so Yoshitatsu, Mike Knox, Brodus Clay, 3 honorable mentions there at the end of this list. But as always, guys, this is the end of the video. We've gone over the top 10 basics and main events that we want to get for this year. So you guys let me know in the comments below. Any of these figures something that you're looking for right now? Is it something that you're going to even go longer with and play the extra long game? Are you playing no game? Are you buying them? Are you not buying them? What was your favorite? What was your least favorite? And if you'd like, leave me a list in the comments of your top 10 basic and main event figures for 2026. Let me know what you guys are searching for. And who knows, maybe something you're searching for may be over at the Matt's Wrestling Collectibles MERCARI store. So, as always, check out the description or comments of this video. The link to the MERCARI store will be in there, as well as the link to everywhere else, Facebook and all that other good stuff. That's where you can find me at, Matt's Wrestling Collectibles all over the place these days. Facebook, it's on MERCARI, it's on YouTube. We're out here, we're live, you already know it. But as always, I appreciate you guys for being here with me for another video. And until we do another one of these, hopefully within the next day or so, as always, and again, stay safe, stay tuned, and I will see you guys all in the next video.